A reading from The Tempest by William Shakespeare. Act 4, Scene 1. Our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into the air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve, and, like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Welcome. The play The Tempest goes from the sublime to the human, the frail and the vulnerable. The speech, "Our revels now are ended," comes just after the masque, which is a joyful, spectacular, even sublime celebration of the union of Ferdinand and Miranda, which is the gift and the blessing of Prospero to the young couple. The speech follows the moment when Prospero suddenly remembers the foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against his life. This thought jolts him back to the real world of brutality and evil. It triggers the memory of the same thing that occurred 12 years before, when his own brother, Antonio, abused the power Prospero gave him to usurp his kingdom and cast him and his little daughter out to sea in a rickety and unseaworthy vessel. Miranda says that she has never seen her father so touched with anger, so distempered. Our revels now are ended is spoken to his son-in-law. The festivities and the merrymaking are over. Prospero needs to confront his enemies before he can secure his daughter's happiness. The new world that Prospero desires for Miranda can only be realized when he rejects both his desire for vengeance and his magic. He must free Ariel and embrace Caliban, gestures that symbolize his own regenerate faith. In the end, the spectacular and magical mask must melt away into the air. Prospero is also talking about his magic powers when he says, "These actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits and are melted into the air, thin air." He seems to foresee a time when he must set Ariel free and give up his magic. At the same time, Shakespeare seems to be reminding his audience that the play we are watching, the audience is watching, is a baseless fabric, and that the vision created in the magic space of the theatre, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, and even the theatre, the great globe itself, shall dissolve, just as the insubstantial pageant must dissolve and fade away. This is a meta-theatrical moment where Shakespeare reminds his audience that the theatrical illusion must end. It then evolves into a metaphor for life. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep as we move inexorably towards death. Some critics see this play as Shakespeare's farewell to the stage, as this is his last single-authored play as he prepares to return to Stratford. Prospero admits that he is vexed. He is angry, and it is in this pessimistic mood, fast slipping into profound depression, that he prepares to deal with evil. His despair emerges from the inescapable realization that mortality and evil are a part of the world in which we live. The audience realizes that Prospero's Utopia, like that of Gonzalo's, is necessarily flawed. Thus, this extract of the play goes from a vision of perfect love, grace, and blessings in the mask to the realization of human frailty and vulnerability. Man's puny life ends irrevocably in death. Perhaps we are all actors on the stage of life, and the baseless fabric, this illusion, must finally fade away into thin air. The Tempest is about endings. the ambitions of the theatre, the frailty of the character and the actor. In the Tempest, this frailty is most clearly seen in the character of Prospero himself. Prospero's magic, the power to enchant as he pulls the strings and manipulates his audience, magically putting his daughter to sleep, relying on Ariel when he hears Caliban plotting, to use magic in the form of music to lead them all astray. Letting go of his art means letting go of his power. Please remember to click the bell below and subscribe, and visit me at my website, formuse.org.